Hello, friends. It's Chapo.
To hang out with anxious white liberals who want to diversify their lives.
Yes, there's different levels of it where it's like you come for a half hour, you bring 4 outfits, everyone takes pictures as if it's different occasions. We bring a Christmas tree, we bring a full Thanksgiving dinner, and in 2 hours you have every major holiday. You have, we'll bring a black guy, we'll bring a Hmong family. We'll get it all. And then a Latino best friend to your kids. You get to just you get your Instagram pictures done, you get your Facebook done, and then you can start from there. And I think that is a great business venture, Matt. I think you're really onto something.
Imagine how much a black family could charge for invitations to their cookout.
Yes. Yes. This service would be something like a cross between a notary public and an escort.
Yes. Exactly.
This is a great idea. We always say that the American economy is like out of growth, declining profits, no new ideas, nothing good. We're at an awkward time in technology, sort of the equivalent to the 1970s, where any new idea is in its awkward adolescence where it won't be workable for another 20 years. This is an actual innovation in the service sector.
It's true.
Absolutely. So that's one way to attack it, but yeah, there's no way this woman is so like.
Her problem is that she's asking a question. Like she's asking a question like how do I like seek out like the Terminator of black families to be friends with, but like but not killing them, just being friends with them. But then she's like, how do I convince them that I'm not doing that?
Right. That's what I was gonna say. It's like just because you're aware of what's going on doesn't mean it's not weird.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like
there's no way to pursue this goal in a way that doesn't give away to anyone you interact with what a freak you are.
Oh my God. It's coming across so hard in text.
I don't want to be that crazy white lady. Too late, ma'am.
I would love to see a picture of this woman.
Yes.
Like one picture where she's looking at just like a white mom from her school, and another picture where she's looking at a black mom from her school, and just see how much her eyes dilate, her pupils are dilated when she looks at the black mom, and just in that moment, the hope that a black woman might find her cool.
Oh my God!
Because it's like, here's the other thing. I'm guessing she wasn't like. She's like, it would have been easy back on the East Coast. It's like, really? How I would love the statistics on how many non-white friends she had in her
white
East
friends.
Coast city.
Honestly. I kind of want to know that.
Yeah.
Well, she does at like zero. You're getting a little cocky, being like, "Yeah, I'm just going to get some minority friends to diversify here."
Well, parents like this moved mountains to segregate their kids' schools on the East Coast. Parents like this,
You're so fucking right.
Yeah, they changed the topography of New York in order to only go to school with parents exactly like them.
100%, truly 100%. And they just think because they buy bananas at a bodega sometimes that they're not racist. I mean, also it's like, how do you even? She brings up a good point. It's like, how do you even make just regular friends as a fucking adult? That's fucking weird and hard to do. I just think this lady's fucked, and there's no way around it. You just kind of have to, like, that honestly does speak to how all of this shit is beyond your control. Because what she's saying is like, well, we moved somewhere where it's expensive and there aren't any minorities. And it's like, but I want minority friends. And it's like, all right, well, that's the problem.
Yeah.
It's just like like you fucking live in a place that Felix is right. It's like either the people just like you a generation ago made it so that like no black people live there. So it's like, so now you can't be like, well, what if I drive to a shittier neighborhood and try and start a book club? What if I bring a box full of Toni Morrison novels and see who it attracts, and then I can force them to talk to me about The Bluest Eye? That's like, it's just like, you suck dick, lady. Like, no, Matt's right. I wouldn't wish friendship with this woman on anyone except maybe the lady from the first question.
Yes.
These two should be friends. Yeah.
Well, maybe in special forces they have this thing called procurement missions where you're dropped in country without any of your gear. You have to get your own weapons and everything like that. And she could be dropped in East New York without any of her book club materials or the Nextdoor app or anything.
Yes.
And then, become a force multiplier in that way with whatever friends she makes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know, and it's tough because these, like, I guess she is sort of onto something here, but it's just like, well, I don't know what to tell you. It's like, if it was that important to you, you would have just like stayed where you were. You know what I mean? Or you would have like sought that out. Like you would have sought a different neighborhood out. It's so funny that the most diverse school is 18% just not white. That's fucking hysterical. That's the one that they really needed to get into. Shout out to Baltimore City Public Schools. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was like there was like 4% white. It was my school was literally like 10% white, and half of it was like, and we was just like all white trash or just Greek kids. It was honestly pretty fucking sick.
Well, so do you have any practical advice about how to make friends then? Just don't be the 80% majority of any place that you're in.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the funny thing is like, I definitely was a race trader in many ways, where it was like, because you're Greek, you could be like, I'm less white than the fucking white kids. I'm the best. We had nothing to do with slavery. Like that was my way in. And also just be good at sports, and make fun and be a charismatic bully when you had to be. If you were fat as shit in Baltimore public schools, you needed to find someone with a little fucked up leg, or like or like someone fatter than you, or it didn't help that I didn't get pussy, so you had to find someone that was a bigger loser, bad at sport. You had to figure it all out.
Well, ableism gets a bad rap, but it's probably prevented a lot of racism.
Yeah. Yes, it brought laughing at someone with a limp brought us all together. And they were, whatever.
Yeah. What you said about like being Greek, I always think that's like the weird racial politics like kids and young people have are kind of interesting. Where like I have a very distinct memory of when I was working at a bar in Minnesota, and there was this like piece of shit off-duty cop that would always come in and just like unconditionally like just start a pointless argument with like whichever black guy he saw at the bar in St. Paul. So like not a ton of black dudes, but if there was one in there, he was starting an argument with him for no reason. And one night it was like a worse argument than usual, and it almost like escalated. It almost became a fight, and we separated them, and thankfully, like the piece of shit cop left, and the guy who he got into an argument with was explaining it to one of the bouncers, who's a black dude, and he's explaining it, and he's going, yeah, and then no offense, this white boy came up talking about the cop, and then the other bouncer points to me and goes, oh, he's Jewish. And the guy hugs me, and he's like, I didn't know. And it was like in that moment, I was kind of conflicted, because it's like, well, that's like my grandparents worked really hard for me to be white.
Yeah.
On the other hand, like, sure, I'll take it. Thank you.
Totally. Well, listen, I think Jews get one every once in a while. I think historically, you're owed a couple hugs from a black guy versus what you guys were up against. Not you specifically, but it's been tough. Couple big L's for the Jews through history.
Yeah, for sure. But I just think like in America, that guy was being they were both being incredibly charitable to me.
No, I know. And that's the funny thing is like literally I had a coach on the football team, like, it's so funny because what I'm one of the memories I'm remembering is like one kid was going in on one of the white trash kids, I think literally because of slavery. And then and then I was laughing because it was a hysterical situation. And he looks at me, he's like, what are you laughing at? And literally my coach jumped in. He was like, you got to understand, Greek people had nothing to do with it. My coach was like, he's good. He didn't say stop. no one had anything to do with it. He was like, point all your attention to the white trash kid that was born in America. It was like, it is. It's as if like Greek people aren't racist. You know what I mean? That's the part is like they're racist as shit.
He's like, Giannis just got his citizenship after he won the championship of the Bucks.
Yeah, and insanely.
But no, to stop like along those lines.
Remind me this. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say along those lines, just like more beneficial than starting a book club. Would you recommend as a strategy picking out, let's say, any Turkish kids in your school and just denigrating and attacking them?
Ooh. Interesting. Yes. Yeah. Well, one of my best friends is literally Albanian, and there is like we did do like Balkan. Like honestly, my ironic racism is so deep in what I find funny because my best friend starting from kindergarten is Albanian, and Greek people are racist towards Albanians, and we would do it as a bit starting at like age 5. You know what I mean? So it's like that was always fun, and that's from a young age. I was like, oh, this is ridiculous that someone would actually be racist towards them because he's born like the country right above us, and I thought that was funny from the jump. So yeah. I think a little fun, ironic racism early on can be nice. And honestly, you know what the real fucking like, not to go fucking Disney movie Remember the Titans, but it's like get your kids playing fucking sports, dude. Sports is just like everyone on sports is on a team.
Stop.
That's the way to do it. It sounds like your fucking kids are probably losers that read too much, not like the cool little 4-year-old that didn't ever want to learn. But get your kids in some sports. That's some of my best friends still to this day. Like I went to DC. It's like I saw a bunch of my friends from Baltimore that we played like soccer, fucking football, lacrosse with, wrestling. It was fucking sick. So that's your way in. But the people that fucking write into Slate, their kids don't play fucking anything but I don't know, something. Probably cross country.
I unironically love Remember the Titans. It's one of the best airplane.
Sick movie.
It's one of the best movies to watch on an airplane. If you're on an airplane, it's just like it's the perfect airplane watching movie, and it's about how sports conquers racism. The scene where Denzel takes him to the Gettysburg battlefield and gives that fucking inspirational speech. Oh my god!
Yes,
tears in my eyes. Tears in my eyes.
And no joke, that literally is like. Everyone loves sports. Everyone from every like fucking background. Someone puts their kid in sports from every background. You're actually probably better off, other than a fucking lame ass book club, is just making your kid play fucking soccer, hoops, or fucking football. Like that's the what it took us a while, but that's what it is, dude.
Sports are the answer.
Sports conquers all.
If we don't come together right now on this hollow ground, we too will be destroyed. Just like they were. I don't care if you like each other or not, but you will respect each other. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll